You're listening to the Pittsburgh Pile Driver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Yeah, from last week?
No.
Okay.
You got a problem with that?
No, man. Just asking.
Don't get there. Calm down.
No, man.
Shut up. Here we go.
I should have peed.
Oh.
You'll do it during the intro. You'll be fine.
That's fine.
Oh.
Grab a bottle.
Gross.
Thanks, everybody. Hi. It's time for the Pittsburgh Pile Driver Podcast. It's pile driver time in the city. And we're going to do stupid. It's WrestleMania time. It's WrestleMania season. WrestleMania is coming up. There's going to be a lot of shows posted between now and WrestleMania because I didn't post the last two shows, but they're going to get posted. So you're going to have to listen to them between now and Mania or after Mania. I don't really care what you do. How do you feel about that? Jagoffs. But apparently we have to talk about wrestling before WrestleMania. I'm out of the loop. I'm old. I don't understand how things work anymore. So someone will talk about something, and I'll chime in and give a couple nonsensical grunts, maybe a fart or two, and the day will be over. We'll call it a day. Happy podcast. Poop the Bar, Tiger Bomb Tom, Beef the Legends, Captain Stupid Face. We're all here, and we're all doing Wrestle Talks to you this evening, this morning, whenever you are listening to the show. Does that sound good? Yes, it does. Before we go ahead and kick into Wrestle Time Talktown, I do want to go ahead and throw out a message to two of our fans, loyal fans, listeners, participants, two good supporters of the show. Pat and Amber, we learned that their family are going through some tough times at the moment, so we might not be getting some questions from the Mid-Card Maniac. That's all right. These things happen. Family comes first. And we just want you guys to know, whenever you do end up listening to this show, whenever you get around to listening to it, whenever I get around to posting it, because God knows I'm old and slow and things happen. But when you hear this, if you hear this, the P3 are here for you guys. If you need to vent, call us stupid, throw us an insane question, or even just beat beef in the Choose Your Way title and then gloat for the next 3 months. You do what you got to do, and we're here for you guys. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you. We hope your family recovers and gets through whatever they're going through as quick as possible. Now, somebody talk about wrestling, because I don't know.
Number 1, arm bar. Number 2, arm hold.
I'm with you so far. Keep going.
Number 3, the moss-covered three-handled family gradunzel.
That was later on in the list.
Yeah, that's not number 3.
No,
that's
was
not number 3.
It absolutely is number 3.
Somebody consult Wikipedia.
Oh, it might be arm drag. Might be 3. Arm drag might be 3. Number 4 is the moss-covered three-handled family gradunza, and number 5 is arm bar.
Arm bar.
Check it again.
I don't know.
Beef, lock the door.
All right, so it's locked.
Check it again.
Oh, God.
So, I think
Welcome to Time to Die.
the hottest topic right now is how in fuego wrestling is right now. Like, I dare say that this is the most popular in, like, the cultural zeitgeist that pro wrestling has been since, like, pre-Attitude Era. Like, you remember, like, the transition between when we had, like, Bob Sparky Plug Holly and Duke Drosy to suddenly having Bret Hart say bullshit on TV and, you know, push Vince McMahon down, and, you know, having all, you know, Steve Austin throwing the belt off the bridge, and you know,
Al Snow
that
wrestling in a
feel.
river.
This, I think,
What?
has, and I won't even say this. I think the last year has had that same kind of like bridge that we had between the attitude, the new generation, and the Attitude Era.
Thanks to Roman Reigns and the Bloodline.
Thanks to The Rock.
I think thanks to guys out there that are fucking busting their ass like Seth Rollins, Gunther,
Thanks to Vince McMahon.
Kenny Omega, fucking, just Adam Cole, MJF, Bryan Danielson, gods of the sport, and yes, I will acknowledge him ever so briefly.
Uh-oh.
I think that
Throw up the ones.
I think that this is, this past Monday's Raw was the highest rated episode on Cage Match, which, mileage may vary on that. Same as Meltzer's ratings, like they don't matter to everybody. Some people hold them in high esteem, but like this was the highest rated Monday Night Raw that was not a memorial show, I think, in history, and for good reason, man. Like it cooked, like start to finish. Raw was impressive. Factor into that, obviously, that is WrestleMania season. That it is, WrestleMania 40, which is not the 40th anniversary. It is the 39th anniversary of WrestleMania. But, it's WrestleMania 40, which is, a big fucking huge deal. And the fact that AEW is putting together Dynasty, which is looking fucking incredible. And I think that if we are not already in the boom, I think that we are headed for the boom very, very soon.
Boom shamaloom.
I would agree. I would agree with you. Like, it's nice talking to people, even though and this is not like bringing up a different point. It's nice to actually talk to people and say like, whenever we talk about sports, I go like, oh yeah, I'm more into pro wrestling, and they're like, oh yeah, I watched whenever The Rock was there. I heard he's running around doing stuff again, and I'm just like, I understand that like it's a little eye rolly to be like, okay, they know about The Rock, but like people have heard that he's doing stuff, and it's like it could get people back into wrestling, and I'm all for that. You know what I mean?
It's a touch point. I mean, like you can't deny. You can't deny The Rock's impact on both wrestling and then just like, well known, obviously, in Hollywood and everything like that. Same thing for like John Cena. There are certain names that, even if you're not a wrestling fan, that are synonymous for better or for worse, with wrestling. Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, like it, it's names like that became bigger than the sport than wrestling itself, and it's interesting to see like that. I don't want to go off on like a whole nother tangent, but we talked about, I think we probably talked about it before, where like how there for a long time it was hard to like, there was like a glass ceiling that a lot of wrestlers really couldn't break through because they were kind of handcuffed, and like everybody say like, oh, well, you need to be the next Stone Cold. Well, I'm being handcuffed and I can't be, like, because I'm not allowed to do this or this. Like, I don't have those same liberties. Like, it was a different time when he came up through. So there are certain names that were able to do that, and eventually, names in this generation, I'm sure that will, in the next 10 years or later on, that we'll also be talking about.
I don't even know if later, man. Like, there's a lot of wrestlers now that like people are already deeming future Hall of Famers. You know, guys like MJF, which, speaking of him, there's another point I want to make, you know, after a little bit later. I'll try and remember. But, but like, there's
Write it
him.
down.
There's guys like Samoa Joe. There, you know, like we're seeing a lot of that, that next generation. Kevin Owens, I think by the end of the day, we're going to talk about Kevin Owens in the same way that we talk about guys like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
What day?
You know.
Right, but I mean, my point was more so. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Nothing about not so much in the regards of like, are they future Hall of Famers? I mean, more so like that, even to somebody that's a lapsed fan, or even that somebody that's not really that doesn't follow any pro wrestling, that are names that they know. Like, if you ask somebody that's not a pro wrestling fan, chances are they're not going to know who Kevin Owens is. Granted, he is a fantastic wrestler, and he definitely is a future Hall of Famer. But that's coming from somebody who is a pro wrestling fan. You ask the average person out on the street, they're gonna know Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan's name or John Cena's name or The Rock's name, because they've transcended beyond just wrestling and stuff like that. So, to your point, yeah, it is nice to have that. It is nice to have that touch point, that cultural touch point, to say like, oh yeah, you know, The Rock is back and he's working with so and so. He's working with Cody. He's working with Seth Rollins. I think you should, you should check it out, because they're doing some really great work too, and that's a nice little bridge to bring somebody in. And maybe they enjoy Seth's work and Cody's work. Maybe they get a look at what Drew's doing and start to follow him. And who knows? But it is nice to have that common ground, that common landing point there, like to say, hey, here's this, now check this out.
Well, I think, to Pooch's point, about Pimp, people be like, oh yeah, I watched whenever The Rock was doing stuff, like, I heard he's back. I think that like we could probably make the same kind of like equations about like, Hulk Hogan and like the Attitude Era. Like, people would probably like, oh yeah, I watched, back in the day whenever Hulk Hogan and Macho Man were there. It's like, oh well, come check out these new guys. Like, so I mean, kind of fusing you guys' points there. Like Tom makes a great point. Like it's a great parlay. Like, hey man, like awesome. You should check out WrestleMania. It's on Peacock, and you can get that for fucking pennies on the fucking dollar. So like, do it.
So quick little aside. This does tie into it, I promise. We did an escape room this weekend down in Murraysville, and the guy running the thing at the end got a kick out of it, because me and Eli were in the room and there was a prop Kane, and Eli goes, "It's gotta be Kane!" And then we were doing a whole bunch of by gods, and they can see and hear you. So at the end, we were talking with the guy, just talking about the room, and then and we brought up, he's like, I bet he got a kick out of us saying like, it's got to be Kane or whatever. And then he happens to actually do the production and stuff like that for IWC. So we started just
cool.
shooting the shit. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really neat. You never know what future potential wrestling fan you're going to run into, or somebody that's like just randomly, like, you just strike it up with. That's like one of the reasons I always carry my business cards with me, because I never know whenever I'm gonna see somebody. It's like, oh hey, I like that new tattoo that you got, or hey, I like that shirt, or I like your hoodie or whatever. I'm like, here, come check out my page. So there's always ways, if you look for it, that you can parlay that conversation into getting somebody kind of back into the pro wrestling fold, and really get their eyes on the current product.
Yeah, dude. Now is the time to let your freak flag fly. WrestleMania.
It's easy for you to say, sir.
Freaking flag. JR's barbecue.
My God.
It's time to come out of the closet and be like, yep, I like pro wrestling. Deal with that. And like, I've done that, and Had some really awesome conversations. Like, yeah, I've met some marks who are like, I like Goldberg. I like fucking Bianca Belair. I love John Cena. Like, all right, like that's cool, man. And like, I don't disparage them.
Is there
'cause
something wrong
Disparaging
with
Bianca Belair?
No,
Something wrong with that?
no.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying like, you know, like
Serving me-
the very topical people that like, you know, enjoy it very topically. Like yes, like you have those conversations, but you like I've
Surface
also met
level
lots of
stars.
people-
Like they like surface level
Exactly.
stars.
Exactly. But I've also met people who are like just as fucking smarky as I am, which is just as bad. You know, so like like I said, man, like, and I'm not trying to like stand on my fucking soapbox here, but like, I mean, honestly, like,
Mhm.
as opposed to like sitting here being divisive and like being like, oh, AEW is better, or you know, oh, WWE is better, like, let's fucking ignore all that shit and just
We
be
can
like,
all agree.
hey,
We can all agree
come
that
on,
NWA is not better. That's all. We can all agree on that.
NWA
It gave us
is up in a
listen.
cloud of smoke.
It gave us the shoes of a champion promo. That's all that
It
matters.
did. It did.
And it's a bummer because like they were definitely trending the right way for a long time, but you know, ever thus the deadbeats, Lebowski.
That was just a smart ass remark just to bring light to Beef's point. Every promotion has a little bit something to offer. Some you have to look a little bit harder than in others to find it, you know. But
I'm
it's-
sorry. I thought of a joke to myself and it made me giggle. I said, Ransom
Go
over
on.
there sounds like a Foley studio.
He absolutely does. I'm like, man, like everything is King Ransom's mic. Like he fucking made
It's just it just made me giggle. It's not bad. I made myself laugh.
I got a sound effects business on the side, and I gotta keep my game up. Like Tom was talking about, you gotta promote your stuff. Well, I gotta promote my stuff on the show. I'm a sound effects studio, so you know.
I'm a
should
sound
promote it
effects.
on Frig Off Rant.
I'm a sound effects studio.
Yeah,
Can that be a
freaking
T-shirt?
Hit me up. Hit me up. I'm a sound effects studio. In your face. What are
Oh
you
my
talking
God.
about? Here we go.
But yeah, man, like I am super into it. Like things, and like I'm not trying to like over embellish when I say that Raw was killer. It was really good. I don't know if you guys have seen clips or anything, but like the opening
saw
promo with
the
Cody, the opening promo with Cody, like
Oh yeah.
just straight good stuff. Fucking CM Punk, McIntyre, Rollins.
That was
They gave them like they gave them an outline. They're like, okay, do it, and they went out there and they fucking did it. And like, I like that there's no hurt feelings. That they're all like taking these fucking personal shots at one another. And nobody's getting fucking butthurt about it. And look what's happened.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
a
see.
fucking fire fucking promo.
I just watched that clip.
The best part of that I'm sorry, Todd. The best part of that promo was the fact that like Beef said, they were taking hard shots at each other, and you could tell. I swear to God, there was one part in there where I thought Punk was gonna crack. I did.
Well, I think
it looked like he
did
was
a little bit.
Yeah.
He broke Drew. Drew
Yeah.
like with the who said it line. Like Drew definitely had a fucking like laugh on his face. Like
Oh, I missed that. I saw the very last. I saw whatever part of it. The thing of it was whenever Seth said, "I don't know if you realize, but that's his counting arm," and Punk got down and did a 3 count,
Yep.
and then he goes, "To be fair, I don't think I could be impartial with these two dipshits." And then Drew goes, "PG, brother."
Yeah, he goes, "PG, brother."
That's it. I was like that part.
My
That part got
favorite
me
line
enough.
of the whole thing was CM Punk made a really salient point about not having to like have another man's name on his T-shirt to sell it, And then Drew was like, hold on here. And he took off the outer layer to have another shirt that had CM Punk's name on it. And Drew goes, having a little trouble getting it over my biceps. I don't think you've had much trouble with that over the years. And I'm like, fuck that savage. Like, it was just, and like the action in the ring was really good. They didn't focus on any stupid bullshit. And like, I'm really drawn in to see what happens with this Sammy with the Intercontinental title match. I really feel like the way that it's trending, they're gonna change it, or add to it. I should say, because you don't have Sami Zayn lose before he's facing Gunther without trying to like get Bronson or Gable into that match.
I'm still. You'd be hard pressed to tell me that it's completely out of the realm of possibility. I still say that you might see Damian Priest cash in on that IC title either at or after Mania. I'm really thinking that that's how he's going to be involved in general with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then just
makes a ton of sense. It makes so much sense. It really does.
Yeah, like I mean, because you kind of really already have the main event, the main two titles kind of already tied up, and regardless of which way they go with the World Heavyweight title, it makes sense either way for Punk to face one of them once he's healthy again. So, and then with Cody and Roman, obviously the best decision is to put it on Cody now, because honestly, I don't think fans will wait a whole nother year or half a year or anything like that. Like, the time is now. Like, you have to do it now. Last year was really pushing it because we saw like what's happened over the last year with Roman. If he would have actually wrestled more matches and they wouldn't have all been like so formulaically the same fucking bullshit, I think we might be talking about this whole bloodline thing a little bit with a little bit more rose-colored glasses. A little bit. Not extremely, but a little bit.
I would be. I think it would absolutely, if you gave Roman Reigns one or two clean wins, like completely clean.
Yeah, why not?
Without Solo, like, you make him like, yes, okay, Solo is there when the chips are down, but understand, it's no accident that Roman Reigns is the champion and has been the champion for 3.5 years.
Right.
Like, this is not an accident. Like, so that's the thing. Like, I think if they would have given us a couple of those, I'd be way more into it. But I wanted to jump back real quick because I mean it's all kind of headed there anyway. But let's talk about the ending of Raw, because it was, again, as good as I've seen probably ever, if we're being honest. Triple H did the classic Triple H that we've all come accustomed to, and they put the fucking the card up, the placard, and then credits roll. Oh, nope, it's not over. And we see The Rock taking out Cody Rhodes in the back, dropping an F-bomb. Merely an hour and a half after Drew McIntyre said, "PG, brother."
Well, you'd be surprised how much the standards and practices dip off from 9 to 10 and 10 to 11, because then
Absolutely.
after 11 o'clock rolls around, man, they're dropping F-bombs everywhere on USA.
Yeah,
you used to have your fucking New York Undercover, silk stockings, all that shit.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Nikita. All that.
I didn't realize how liberal they got. I was watching and I saw Hitman's Bodyguard. I'm like, oh, I'll watch it for a laugh. And it was completely unedited. I'm like, holy shit. They're letting them drop like 87 F-bombs. That's real fucking interesting. Neither here nor there, though. But
I love the fact that they're having whoever, do the stuff and then obviously, bleep it out, because there's always a, live delay. I love that they're doing that, because it's getting to that, like, it's edgy enough to draw in, the older crowd and stuff like that. But you're at the same time you're not completely just saying fuck on television or whatever and having your 9-year-old go like, oh my god, like whatever,
What 9-year-old would make that fucking noise?
I don't know. There's some 9-year-olds. Don't ask me. Listen, my kids hear me swear all the time, but they have the common sense to know better. Like, or in the case of when it actually slipped up, like I was driving and somebody cut me off and my daughter went, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Did you just say that?" She's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Don't worry, I'm not mad. Like it was perfect context. You used it the right way. I'm not mad at you. You didn't just do it flippantly for no reason. Like, it's fine."
She's just walking around going, fuck, fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. fuck.
Just
Fuck you guys.
Just gives her, carte blanche.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they know better. They're mature enough to, to do that. But it's a nice little in between. You still, you still can have that PG-esque feel, but kind of get into more like the TV 14 or a little bit beyond or whatever. It's I like it. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And here's the thing. I think it's hilarious how much that they're leaning into this stuff from the internet.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
they are.
you read all these stuff about how like people in the back and wrestlers are pissed off that The Rock's not like going by the standards they have to go by. So what does The Rock do? He drops the fucking F-bomb on live TV. Like it almost as a way to say, "Ha fucking gotcha." It's almost like kayfabe is alive again.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
You never know what's legit out there. Like fucking Ridge Holland's retirement. I don't know if that's real. I don't know if it's a work. It seems like a work. I don't know.
I just saw that. I just saw a clip like that. And I hit one of the fucking clickbait articles, and then I see that, and I'm like, it's a work. Like
It feels pretty worky, but you never know anymore. Like that's the thing.
It's true. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I think that, and like Pooch said, Ben, like I'm here for it. I think that can only help, the business
because it makes you just go ooh.
Right, not gonna go back to the fucking territory days, but like surprises are fun. Like I harken back to 2 years ago whenever we weren't 100% sure that it was going to be Cody coming out to face Seth Rollins. 3 years ago. No, 2 years. It was 2 years ago. So like we thought it might be Theory or some other schlub, and then it was Cody, and we're like, this is fucking awesome. Like surprises are fun. And unfortunately they happen so rare in the wrestling world now because of the internet. So yeah. I think we could do a little. I think we could do with a little bit more kayfabe, honestly.
I dare I say, I think the last actual like true surprise debut that we had was probably Sting. I don't think nobody knew about that in AEW. Like it wasn't like speculated across the internet. Like I didn't hear any rumblings. Like and from hearing from people within AEW, like Tony Schiavone and stuff, like they kept a real tight lid on that. So.
I think the Okada thing. I think that there was still enough mystery, and they brought him out at an event that I don't think anybody expected.
Okay. I didn't hear. Well, I thought I had heard Okada's contract was coming up, but that's what I mean. It's like you hear about some people's contracts coming up, and
sure.
People will start speculating or whatever. But like nobody was saying anything about Sting. Like that was like completely out of fucking left field. But anymore, yeah, you're not wrong. Like it is so hard to. It's so hard to make anything a surprise just because of how rapidly available all the information is to us. Literally a computer in our pockets. Like how do you fucking navigate trying to surprise anybody with the power like that,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so I think I'm. Yeah, just the way that it was like. I was half expecting The Rock to throw Cody over like that railing there, wherever it led to. Like
That
I was 100% waiting for that.
I thought that too, but then I realized, I mean, they could have obviously, like, they could have put crash pads down below or something, but so where that lip was, down below there would have been like a ramped driveway kind of going down into the building.
Where the trucks go, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like it was just really, really fun. And again, I think that it it's in a really good place. Like I was very skeptical about The Rock's involvement. I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought that it screamed of nepotism, and I was not like initially. I was like, man, this was fucking terrible. But the way that they changed course so quickly and embraced Cody, and like I think it had the chance to make him an even bigger face if that's possible. And then The Rock just like leaning into his heel shtick is just it's all working, man. Did anybody see his entrance on Monday night?
No, but don't let me forget, I have a hot take on that.
It
Just on
like
The Rock
not
in general.
not just the theme, but like everything involved. The video, the fucking like lightning going. It was all so perfectly done. And like if this is what The Rock is gonna be for the product, where he's gonna step in big moments and like get a lot of eyes here, like I'm here for it. And I think that him being on the board of directors was a good decision.
So I have a question for all of you, and then I got a hot take, and I want to hear Ransom's response. Question: did any of you see Dustin Rhodes in his video online? And
I mean,
what
fuck The Rock?
that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. If for those that hadn't seen it, he was introducing some new tag team titles for his wrestling school or something, and at the end, he was just like, "Oh yeah, fuck The Rock," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well we're going with that." So it makes me wonder, if somehow, some way, if we're able to extend this, if Triple H is able to extend an olive branch or whatever, and and do business and get Dustin involved at WrestleMania, with everything going on with Cody and stuff like that. But my hot take: The Rock's involvement is good and all, but there is one person that is suffering a little bit from it. That would be Roman, because
Absolutely.
everybody's talking about Cody and Rock. Well, The Rock's not the fucking Universal Champion. Roman Reigns is. So that's the only problem with this, is that, like, Roman, whether you love him or hate him, whether you've enjoyed the whole everything with the bloodline or not, he's done his best work as this like tribal chief, this tribal chief character and everything like that. It's been his best work that he's ever done. Promos, everything. The best. But The Rock, like, Roman's a superstar, but Rock is a mega star. And Rock, whether he's trying to or not, is gonna command that fucking spotlight. And it's unfortunate for Roman, but in the end of it, Cody's gonna end up, coming out like smelling like 1,000 roses. Ransom.
Yeah,
your opinion.
What's the question? No, not being sarcastic. Like, you told me what your hot take was. Are you?
Yeah, that's like
asking if I agree or disagree.
Yeah. Give me your thoughts on it, like it with Rock's involvement and everything like that. Like, how are you feeling about everything?
I think I don't think The Rock is helping No, hold on. There's going to be a lot of double negatives in that. The Rock is hurting the spotlight on Roman Reigns, yes. But WWE has done this more than The Rock over the past year of letting Roman Reigns' title reign mire and become a who cares. I think if people were a lot more invested in Roman Reigns as the champion, The Rock's involvement would hurt Roman less. But it's hurting Roman more because how many times has Beef talked about it on the podcast? I'm sick of the bloodline. I'm sick of Roman Reigns. Well, WWE hasn't done anything over the past year, maybe more, to help Roman. It's pretty much just hurt him. Like they're running down the clock. He's going to break this. He's going to break Hogan's. Is he going to get the Hogan's? He got to 1,000 days. Is he going to get the Hogan's record? Woo-hoo. Like they're running down the clock. And yeah. And in a football game, when a team starts running down the clock, you stop caring. Because you know it's going to wind up being boring.
Take a knee.
Yeah, man. Like you're running down the clock. If WWE would have had this Roman Reigns bloodline storyline on fire for the past year, and then The Rock shows up and takes the spotlight away from Roman, okay, then it's like, hey, The Rock's kind of doing Roman dirty. I mean, on the one hand, yeah, he's kind of doing that because everybody, gives a big boo-hoo about The Rock nowadays. But at the same time, I think they kind of needed The Rock to come in and turn this into a spectacle, because if they didn't, it would be the same old thing over the course of this entire year. Roman comes out, oh, acknowledge me, Tribal Chief, Wise Man, Rudy, here's Solo, Bing Bong, look at his blonde hair. Okay, great. But, again, who cares? We're going into WrestleMania again. Cody Roman cares. So, yeah, Rock has hurt the spotlight on Roman a little bit. But you can't blame solely on Rock. They needed something to spice this up because they've turned Roman Reigns from, what could have been a delicious, warm and gooey chocolate chip cookie into just a stale old Lorna Doone.
That's a sad, sad cookie. That's a good point.
Big pile of who cares, Roman Reigns. They had to do something to spice this thing up.
No, you're not wrong.
So
that's a good take.
I made a point, I think, with Sean the other night. I said that you guys know me. I watch WrestleManias leading up to WrestleMania is what I do. So I watched Night 2 a couple times now from last year, which I didn't get to see live. But actually, I did see that match live, ironically. At the time, I said it was a bad decision, and I got real pissed off. And then I didn't touch it again until probably about a month ago when I watched it again. And feeling the vibe, the crowd was ready to crack. They were there for Cody. Yeah, Roman had his contingent. Absolutely. Roman, for the most part, is still going to demand, 30% of the audience. He's no slouch when it comes to that. The whole Tribal Chief acknowledge me thing, that's over for some people, and that's fine. Whatever. It's not my deal, but I get it. But, I think that they were ready to pop. And then Solo gets thrown out, and everyone's like, oh my God. And then the Usos come out and they're like, oh, here we go again. And then fucking Owens and Zayn come out and neutralize them. And everyone's like, oh my God, it's going to happen. Here we fucking go. And then out comes fucking Solo. Not even a new debut. It's just fucking Solo again. And that's the thing. It's just always fucking Solo. If you give me, if they would have run out, if they would have run out, Solo, 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 Jacob Fatu last year. I'd have been like,
Oh.
okay, this is a little bit of a twist. All right. Or, fucking Tama Tonga. Like, even though he's not part of the bloodline, like, he's fucking Tongan. But, the layman people would be like, oh, no, this is Samoa. Like, you have somebody, you have somebody new. But the fact that it was fucking Solo again, people are like,
I think they had plans. I think they had plans over the year to try and make him bigger, man. I really do.
Who, Roman or Solo?
Solo.
Rolo.
Put in that, because we will definitely.
Rolo.
I definitely have some pieces to say about Solo, but like, the point here is when Roman won again, it was a wet fart. Everybody was just like, eh. Everybody, the crowd went mild.
Yeah.
So, I thought to myself 2 weeks ago when I saw it, I'm like, man, it was. I remember saying, okay, give it a minute. Like, let it settle, let it fester. Let's see where they go with it. And like now, a year later, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, it was pointless. Roman had, 3 defenses last year? 3 additional defenses? All of them went the exact same way. Nothing really changed for the better. Everything just got worse. But Sean brilliantly pointed out the thing that I was missing. If Cody beat Roman last year, this whole situation with The Rock right now would not be happening. This whole like Rock coming back as a heel and like really leaning into it does not happen. So I gotta say, and I can't believe I'm gonna say it. It was worth the ride to get to here. But I say that because, and knowing that we're not going to have a ton of talking time next week, it's going to be a lot of picks. I say that because Cody has to win here, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy! Remember the last time that fell out of our faces?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and you guys know me. I work myself up into shoots all the time.
Who is this
you?
guy?
Who am I?
You guys know what I do. But for once, I feel like I might actually what I'm expecting may actually come to fruition.
Stop it.
Well, you've doomed it. You fucked it.
I think night one. I think night one.
You fucked it up.
Roman and The Rock win, and we get, of course, bloodline rules on night 2. People are speculating.
So Solo gets neat.
People are speculating. Does Seth turn on Cody? Seth's been wearing black the last couple of weeks. No accidents.
Is that just because black bad? Like black is for bad guys? Is that why?
Right.
Yeah, man.
That's not
Bad guys
colors,
wear
right?
black. Don't you know the song?
What?
Yeah, dude. Bad guys wear black.
Oh.
The black hat, as it were. They've said that for years in
The
wrestling.
good guy in the white hat, the bad guy in the black hat.
I mean, for fuck's sake,
all
they did it with
right, okay.
Michaels and Taker at WrestleMania, whatever the fuck it was, 26, 27.
Well, I think there was
Yeah.
a little bit more into it than that.
I liked it. I
absolutely,
still
but,
like
like,
those entrances were fantastic.
Incredible,
great.
great. My point remains that like people are like, oh, maybe it maybe it does. I don't know, but so they kind of did a mini version of this on SmackDown last week. I think, and as schlocky and stupid as it sounds, I think that we have a chance to get like an Avengers Endgame moment at WrestleMania. So like last week, like Roman and Cody went face to face, and Cody was like, "Are you alone?" And Roman was like, "I don't need anybody else out here. Are you alone?" And Cody's like, "I'm good." And then like out comes Jay, out comes Solo, but then hey, here comes fucking Seth Rollins and fucking Jimmy from the crowd.
Got those backwards.
I did. You're right. Damn it! I'm bad at you, so.
Bono.
Anyway, my
Shield?
point here
What's happening here?
is that I think at WrestleMania, like I think we get fucking what I've been wanting, which is like the roster out to support Cody Rhodes. Like I think we see Seth and Jay, obviously. I think Kevin Owens makes his presence known because he fucking hates the bloodline. I'm really hoping that we get a turn from Drew. Not necessarily a turn, but like now that I have accomplished what I set out to accomplish by winning the world championship, we need to focus on the bigger evil.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
More importantly, though, I guess not more importantly, but like maybe a bigger deal. Whenever they did the backlot brawl here last week, and The Rock was beating the hell out of Cody Rhodes, there was a production truck in the background. Now, current production trucks are featuring current superstars. However, this production truck in the background featured none other than John Cena and The Undertaker.
No, it was Stone Cold.
Sorry, my bad. You're right. Stone Cold and John Cena. Although The Undertaker has been mentioned as well. But there then came a report that says there are no accidents. Like, that was a very purposeful, message.
Wink and a nudge.
Right. So, who better
than Canyon
to fucking take out The Rock? Who better to fucking take out The Rock than two of his, rivals? I feel like this is something that legit could happen, where there is an uprising of the now and the old of some of the greatest of all time to help Cody have his moment and finish the story.
If I see Stone Cold come out and give Rock a stunner and Rock sells it like he used to back in the day, and on like a handstand wise, I might pee my pants a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, man.
So there's
I will not be providing pee buckets.
There's one thing that nags at me in regards to that plan.
One thing?
Sure.
And that is because food, please. So you've got, hold on, let me tally this up. You've got Kevin Owens, possibly Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. Who else coming out now? Jay. So
Jay's a must, absolutely.
That's 4.
So all right, so that's 4. Now we're gonna throw in Cena and Austin.
That's
so
6.
if you're keeping score, that's 6. And on the other side, you have Rock, Jimmy, and Solo.
And Roman.
The old Rock Jimmy Solo.
Well, no, we're not counting Roman.
Okay.
So, I don't know how this all works into, if the current band of brothers comes down in aid of Cody, KO, Seth, Jay, and let's just for funsies say Drew. That's 4. Bloodline's already outnumbered. I just don't know. So are they going to have the Bloodline subdue all 4 of these guys? Sorry. And then that cues the need for Austin and Cena.
I mean, we've seen schmozzes like that before. This isn't unprecedented.
Honestly,
I don't want you working yourself up into being like, oh, it was great, but it would have been so much better if Austin would have come out and stunned The Rock, and if John Cena would have come out and gave The Rock an old attitude and Josh.
Honestly, I could care less about those two. If I'm being honest, it would be a neat little thing, right? But like, if they're not there, like my heart's not gonna shatter. Really, the big thing is that Cody Rhodes wins, like at all fucking costs. Like I don't care how it happens, as long as it happens. But I
Not
I
gonna.
think it would be impactful.
Don't wanna.
It's not gonna.
But that
Gonna lose.
all of that being said, I think what you were missing here is that over the last, I
Tell
don't
me what
know,
you think I'm missing.
2-3 years, everybody's like, I figured out the bloodline. We just need to even the numbers. And even when you even the fucking numbers of the bloodline, it still ain't even. They still figure out a way to fucking get at you. So like, KO is a wild card. He's got his own shit going on right now. Maybe he doesn't show up. Maybe he does. That'd be great if like fucking KO like stood, stared down Paul Heyman, like got in his grill, and like maybe gave him a little bit of the business. Again, McIntyre's kind of a wild card. I think that we're definitely gonna get Seth and Jay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe Jay is out there neutralize Jimmy, and then Solo comes out, takes out Jay. Seth comes out, takes out Solo. Well, then you got The Rock to take out Seth. Well, then you got to get some heavy hitters.
You got to
That's
get
when
Dustin
you bring
Rhodes.
out Cena. That's whenever you bring out, that's
Penis
when you bring out
balls.
Austin. That's whenever you
That's a
bring
heavy
Bring
out,
out
I don't know,
Hogan.
MJF. I don't know.
Dig up the Macho Man. Bring him back.
Ooh, yeah.
MJF's a free agent, right?
Do the
Send
thing.
down the job
Like
squad.
that's the one thing I want to say. Like you mentioned about Dustin Rhodes and them
Bring
doing
the
the
oddities
olive branch.
Damn it, Ransom! I was
And-
gonna say the oddities, you son of a bitch.
Do a
You read
do
my
a
mind
Michael
as soon as I was
Jackson
just-
style projection of the ghost of Dusty
Okay.
Rhodes.
Hey, you guys were like, ha 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 ha. WrestleMania Sunday, we'll see. We'll see who's
Listen.
laughing whenever I because I think that's where this is absolutely heading. But like, I want to touch on that real quick. Tom, you said about Dustin Rhodes and the olive branch and everything. Like, if I'm Triple
Yeah.
H, I'm not fucking going after Dustin Rhodes. Like, I get it. He
No,
has
I
history with the
absolutely
company.
would. It's
He has a
why
history
not?
with the. Well,
Yeah.
here's why. I think you go after the bigger fish,
Okay.
MJF.
Isn't
Yeah, okay,
MJF
I-
out with like sustained injuries?
He's out with
I
a
mean,
common
he's-
cold.
He's healing. So like,
Okay,
but
but-
yeah, so is CM Punk, and he can fucking bump with the best of them. So like,
Yeah,
I'm
Can he
Go ahead.
though? Because he's
But
always
here's
broken.
the thing. You're like when you're talking about Dustin and you're talking about MJF, you can't talk about it in the same breath. Like if you're going after MJF, you're going for long-term contracts. If you're going after Dustin, you're doing this for like a one-night, one-off, maybe night after Mania on Raw, so he can celebrate with his brother. But it's more so that it makes sense because you're literally talking about the bloodline, the family, and and what's Cody's theme music say in the very beginning? Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Adrenaline.
In my
That's fair.
bones, something, something,
like-
Cody Rhodes.
Cody's also very close to MJF. So like,
Yeah, I get what
He's
you're
my
saying.
brother from another mother.
I'm saying that like, if you're gonna move the needle, and like, let's postulate that WrestleMania the 40 is the most watched WrestleMania of all time.
Until
'cause
next year's WrestleMania.
I think that could be legit. Like with The Rock's involvement, with with everything going on right now, and with how hot the product is, I think that could legit be an honest to God fact. So if you're gonna do that, like, I think the bigger needle mover is having MJF. Again, even if he shows up for one night, and I have the same argument for the Royal Rumble. Even if he shows up for one night, I think it's enough to get fucking people buzzing like crazy. And that's, again, what you want to create is buzz. Clicks. That's what it comes down to anymore. You can't go by ratings, you can't go by fucking ticket sales. It's all about fucking clicks in 2024.
Right.
So I
The
think
click?
And I mean, sure, like if you're gonna
Yes.
get MJF, like why not get Dustin too? I get it, and I that you're right. Dustin probably makes a little bit more sense, but I think the bigger deal would be MJF, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's why you would go after. I mean, either one of them would be a huge deal because we know that they are contracted AEW talents.
So
My lord, it's gold deuced.
So
that's my point. That's my point is that they're both contracted to AEW currently. You probably have a better chance of, if you're gonna ask to, for that olive branch and you're gonna get somebody that's contracted to them, you're probably gonna have a better chance of getting Dustin than MJF. I'm not disagreeing that MJF would be a bigger needle mover. That would be a bigger holy shit moment.
Dude,
But
Tony
I'm saying,
would give them anybody. Tony would give them anybody because it's going to be the most viewed wrestling event of all time. Again, postulating that, but I think that's so. So Tony would be dumb to say no. You can't have X. Like if they come out, you'd be like, "Hey, we want Kenny Omega to come out in the main event." Tony's like, "Fuck yeah!" As long as you say the words AEW on the broadcast, you can have whoever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, but my point being is just for this story, the story itself. I'm not talking about ratings, not talking about moving the needle. I'm just talking about the story of itself, of Cody finishing the story, overcoming the bloodline family with his family. It makes more sense to try to bring in Dustin. I'm not arguing that MJF's a bigger needle mover. Not arguing that at all. But that's my point, is it makes more sense to bring in Dustin. I'd be happy either way, honestly, because they both have ties to Cody. Obviously, Dustin more so than MJF. So I'd be good either way. The important thing is that Cody walks out with that title night 2.
You think they can train Pharaoh to like piss on the Rock? Like I think that would be like the biggest fucking thing of them all. If they could have fucking Pharaoh just come out and take like a big old dumperooski or like pee on him, like I think that would be so fitting.
Now listen, Beef. I know we're dropping F-bombs and stuff with The Rock, but I think there is a hard line in having animals defecate or urinate on somebody. The
Rock's been dragging Pharaoh's good name through the mud. I think it would only be fair. But no, again, like I don't think MJF's gonna show up, and if we're being honest, I don't think Dustin's gonna show up, and that's okay. If we get Cena and if we get Austin, awesome. If we don't, that's okay too. At the end of the day, again, the crux of it is Cody has to win. There's no way that this can go down that Cody doesn't win. No way.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
WWE's fixing to show you.
Remember how they said that there's no way that Cody can't win? Hang on, watch this.
Hold my beer. And that's the thing too, is like there is just enough doubt based off of everything that happened last year. There's just enough of that seed of doubt to go, but what if they don't?
We've got a record to beat here, brother.
And if they don't, if they didn't, I'd be really curious to see how in the world they try to get it back on track after this. I don't think you really can successfully. I think it would turn a lot of people off. Like last year was one thing. Like last year was the, like everybody expected it would pull the rug out from you. Now at this point, like if they don't do it here, like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what would happen.
I'm in the same, like that's exactly where I'm at. And I know if I could talk a big game, but like I've been watching Raw pretty, I won't say religiously, but it's been on the background. Same with SmackDown. Like I've been paying a lot more attention as of late. Granted, it was because I thought it was going to be there, but neither here nor there. I've actually been very invested in this.
Definitely not there.
If Cody doesn't win, I'm fucking out. Like I don't care to really even think about it going forward.
Listen, I feel you because I did the same thing whenever fucking Goldberg beat The Fiend. I was like, I'm fucking done with this. I checked out for like 6 months. And then I was like, hey, what's going on?
How many members of the P3 can WWE get to quit the podcast in one single pay-per-view?
Let's find out.
So that's the beautiful thing, though. Like,
is it?
So I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that Cody loses.
You didn't think that last year either.
Oh, I want to see some bets being
You're
thrown
right.
down now. I want to see some
You're
high
right.
stakes bets.
But like I don't think that that's gonna happen. And I mean, if it does, okay, like Paul is in control. Maybe there's a reason. I still ultimately believe that the reason that Roman won last year had a
Get your
lot to
hand
do
out
with
the cookie jar.
a lot to
Cookie
do
jar crinkles?
with somebody who shan't be named
Fuck up.
any longer because we're done talking about him forever.
Oh,
But,
Vince
like,
McMahon.
That guy, yeah.
He's the best.
So like, I feel like that was almost an assumed thing.
Yeah, chud.
I'm not saying that Triple H is like, fuck it, we don't need the Hogan record. And again, I don't think that they've ever, I've ever seen anywhere that like it's been said that they're going for that. But I'll also say this. Like, I think we all know it's out there. And they'd be dumb to not know it's out there. So I just like this is their moment. And again, like I am not I don't think I'm being over dramatic whenever I say that I think that they're going to have the most eyes on this pay-per-view of all time. I think that this is
Until
easily
WrestleMania
going to
50.
bring in I think that this is easily going to bring in a lot of casuals, a lot of like former fans that are in for The Rock. I think that this is going to be a big deal. And it would be a big, big miss if they didn't finish that story.
Hold on here. Back up.
Well,
Beep, beep, beep.
Bob.
Don't sash me, boy. So when does The Rock turn on Roman? Is it after he takes the attitude adjustment and the Stone Cold Stunner? Or it can't be before.
I don't think he does.
So The Rock's not turning on Roman Reigns.
No, because right now,
Not at Mania.
I think
after.
I think that Tom pointed out. I don't even think then. I think that Tom pointed out that The Rock is stealing a lot of the fire from Roman, which is absolutely true. So I think at their next big stadium event, which is SummerSlam, we get The Rock versus Cody.
You think?
I think The Rock. Oh my God, dude! The Rock versus Cody is hot as fuck right now. Like there is a lot of like, and The Rock is basically carrying the feud with Cody. Roman's not.
You don't think that Rock turns on Roman, makes himself tribal chief and leader of the bloodline? Roman goes away for a while because, he's worked more than two matches this year.
That's a possibility. So that I thought you meant going the other way and The Rock becoming like the face. Like I don't think that that's going to happen.
I was to say that very well could happen. That like Roman could lose his title, and then night after Roman could turn on Rock and go like you were supposed to back me up. I'm your tribal chief. Look at what happened. Now he's got the title, et cetera, et cetera. So it works either way. Honestly, you could have Roman be pissed off and and jump the Rock, or you could have Rock be like pissed off and have him just go, like say like you failed as the tribal chief. Now it's my time. Now it's my turn to take this shit over. So
I think that I think The Rock's having way too much fun as the heel right now. I think that he knows he's killing it, and I think that everyone agrees that he's on another level right now. Like I think that he feels like he's in his prime. In ring wise, we'll see. But like like that segment at the end of Raw on Monday with The Rock and Cody told me everything that I need to know about where they're taking this program. which I think is going to be Rock versus Cody at SummerSlam in Cleveland. Poot, you gave a there. Let's hear it.
An to Rock and Cody. I don't know, man. I just like the last time we saw The Rock wrestle, it was underwhelming. I don't know. I have no doubt the man can still go. It's just, man, a lot of these guys that are getting.
But The Rock was never like.
I'm here too on this podcast.
Match.
Go
I know,
on.
but I just want to make a point that The Rock was never a 5-star match guy. He was never a technical expert like Bret Hart or Kurt Angle. You know what made The Rock great? His promo work.
His ability to make his opponent look good.
And yes, his storytelling in the ring. Like his facial expressions, how he handled his body, that kind of thing. And that I don't think goes away with time.
Okay. Well, I was waiting. It sounded like you still had more.
No, go ahead, please.
I'm just saying, like I like this run. Have it be done at Mania. Have him come out the next night, do his thing, and then send him off into the ether again. Like, he served his purpose. It's done. Send him home. I'm not saying I hate The Rock. I'm not sitting here like saying I hate The Rock. I don't think he's doing really good work. I think he is. He's doing incredible work. But, like, I mean, if he's gonna stick around, then, like, really bake him in. Like, really, like put him in here. Like, have him work week to week. Like, get back on the thing. Like, I don't know. I'm just...
So he doesn't tear his fucking abdominal muscles like 5 minutes into his match again?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's, honest to God, I hate to say it, it's the same thing with CM Punk, man. You can keep yourself in really good shape, but eventually you get to a point where your body just doesn't want to do it anymore. Like, you're more fragile. You hurt more. You're more susceptible to injury. Like, just, you know.
I know that there are a lot of dissenting voices on this podcast, but I'm fine with part-time guys. I'm fine with part-time guys in the main event.
If they're used the right way, that's the important thing.
Yes.
But don't get it twisted. We've talked about it. I think Ransom and I were both on the same page with this. Is part-time guys are fine, but don't make them like your premier champion or whatever. Brock Lesnar the exception because Brock Lesnar's a fucking on another level in another league of his own. That's different. And
that's why Brock continued to feel special, is because they didn't trot him out on every single Raw, every single SmackDown. Like, when Brock showed up, you knew shit was going to hit the fan. And I think that they can do the same thing with The Rock, at least through SummerSlam.
Right.
And I'm telling you, man, like, Poot, did you watch the end of Raw on Monday?
Yes.
You're telling me that you don't... Dude, there's fucking fire with those two. And there's no way that that's going to be quelled after one tag team match. Like, they're definitely setting up for a future feud.
Okay. Like, and it'll be fun. I'm not saying it won't be fun. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm skeptical because, like, listen, I'm not ready to be hurt again, WWE. I know, like, all the right people are in charge. All the right people are there. I'm just going, when's the other shoe gonna drop? Like, we've been conditioned to this shit.
Pooped on.
We've been conditioned to this. Like, oh man, shit is so good. We're so excited. Wrestling's back. Wrestling's part of the zeitgeist. Wrestling's this, wrestling's that. And you fucked it. You took it in the back and you fucked it. Like, I'm just waiting for that other shitty shoe to drop, man. Like, I don't know.
Shitty shoe.
You know why? It's because he who should not be mentioned is still a free man.
Vince McMahon!
Until his ass is in handcuffs behind bars.
Or dead.
or dead. I'm beginning to have a very ransom feeling of like I'm just waiting for him to fucking float back up like all pieces of shit do.
Like the fucking Crypt Keeper. Yeah.
Okay.
What if? What if? At SummerSlam, you got
Vince McMahon returns.
no,
Stop
not
ranting.
that. Stop it.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
What if you got a triple threat with Cody, Rock, and Roman?
Family comes first.
I think that'd be fine.
We're family.
I'd be.
I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall right now, just because.
All I'm saying is I'm not ready to be hurt again. That's all I'm saying. I am
I understand.
This is the first time that I am ever actually tempering my fucking expectations. I'm just gonna go show your work. That's what I'm doing with WWE now. Is I'm just looking to go and show your work until I get like more. I'm sorry, that makes it sound like super greedy and super shitty and everything. Until I get more proof, no, I'm gonna sit here and go show your work. Then one day I'll just go, work shown, well done.
So are you saying that you don't think that Cody's gonna win at WrestleMania?
Man, it is a real fucking possibility in my brain right now. The real world big boy numbers are probably more like Cody's gonna win. I'd say 85-15. But in my brain, it's 50-50. Like it is flat out 50-50. Because WWE has fucked the booking in the mouth numerous times. Like just like they have. Like and now to be fair, that's true. We wouldn't have gotten all this awesome stuff with The Rock had Cody won last year. This is true. Agreed.
Crocky.
But like, man, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time believing they're not going to fuck this up somehow. Like Cody finishes the story and then we hear we hear Senor Money in the Bank.
Oh, my elbow. Oh!
Like that's what I'm saying. That's also a real possibility. Let us not forget that. Now, to be fair, makes more sense for Seth's title, but like it is a real possibility that we get another big ass heist of the fucking century here. It's a real fucking thing. I know you. It's not likely. I'm just telling you, it's a real possibility.
Yeah, it's not probable, but it's possible.
I'm not saying that. I don't know. Like I feel like Cody's reign does not have to be a long one. In fact, it would not shock me if he loses to Gunther in Berlin, which would be like 6 months. And I'd be fine with that. Like in fact, I don't think that we need to be doing these fucking like year-long title reigns anymore. And I get it. Like we were clamoring for that shit
because it was being hot potatoed for so long, man.
Yes. But after MJF held the AEW title for over a year, after Seth Rollins has held the world title for almost a year, and Roman Reigns has held one of the two of those belts for over 3 years, like, I'm good. Like, let's do 6-month title reigns here and there. I'm not saying they all need to be short. I'm not saying they all need to be long. I think that you can work on a case-by-case basis. All that said, I'll throw this out there because I'm an odds guy. I like betting lines. I think they're fun. Cody Rhodes right now is a -700. Roman Reigns is a +400. That means that Cody Rhodes is an underdog. And a pretty is Cody Rhodes is a betting favorite. Excuse me, and a pretty substantial one. Those are pretty high odds. To put it into perspective, though. Last year, Cody was a -500. Roman Reigns was +300. So, not too dissimilar. All that being said, though, like, I have to go with my gut. I have to go with what my brain is telling me. And that is that, and the fact that The Rock said, if you don't get this world title now, or if you don't get this WWE title now, you're never going to. Like, that was very similar to what Cody said about the AEW title, so that doesn't make me feel any better about the situation. Ransom, what do you think? You always are pretty poignant, and you've been very like contrarian here. I'm interested to hear what your actual feelings on this are.
No.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know, man. What the fuck do you want me to say? Yes, they're going to do the right thing and give Cody Rhodes the belt.
Well, I'll put it like this: if there's someone else whose wrestling intuition I trust as much as my own, it's probably yours.
Yeah, my cruiserweight picks definitely reflect that I know.
Well,
wrestling.
Okay. That notwithstanding, though, like you
How
have
about
the
this?
same. You have the same big brain ideas that I do, except for yours are usually more grounded and realistic.
Negative and hungry.
Not at all.
Bullshit. Listen. The only thing about this, like I share Poot's skepticism a little bit because of what happened last year.
No. No.
Listen. I shared a little bit, but it has to be this year because, like, if he wins 2 Rumbles in a row, loses 2 Manias in a row, when's he going to win this damn belt? And more importantly, who's going to give a crap at that point? Like, last year, everybody wanted Cody Rhodes to win. This year, more than everybody wants Cody Rhodes to win. So, you're not just taking the wind out of the sails, you're blowing up the ship if Cody doesn't win this year. Like, you're done. I don't know that you're going to get people back and invested in Cody Rhodes again if he doesn't win this year. If he doesn't finish the story, for my daddy. My dad was Dusty Rhodes. He's got some big old titties. If he doesn't do it this year, no one's going to give a crap anymore. Like, it's done. You're done. You've ruined the comeback of the prodigal son. And when another title shot comes around, people are like, hey, Cody gets a title shot. Anyway. So, yeah, like, come picks time, however we do picks, like, max number, Cody Rhodes to win. But if the ref's hand winds up counting 1, 2, 3 for Roman, I won't be shocked. I'll be like, oh no, oh they did it again, oh no, again. But it won't come to any surprise. Is that a good answer, or did I just talk a bunch of bullshit word vomit?
No, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. I mean, not what I wanted to hear, but that's what I wanted to hear.
He doesn't want you to hear. He doesn't want to hear that there's any doubt in anybody's mind that Cody's gonna win. Like,
I mean, it's not a whole lot, but man, there's a little bit.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I made the Avengers analogy earlier, the Endgame thing, and I want the same like feeling that like Thanos is gonna get his. Like we saw Thanos get killed twice in that movie, and I want to see Roman Reigns get killed twice at WrestleMania. Like, let's fucking go. Like I
want a homicide.
I need that kind of certainty to where like we can not only beat the tribal chief of this timeline, but like another tribal chief variant also loses at WrestleMania. Like that's the kind of like inspiration I need because like I can't. I'm serious. If they does not win, I'm going to.
If it doesn't happen, the TVA is going to show up for beef because if he explodes, then he's going to tear a hole in the time-space continuum.
This isn't America's ass. This is the American Nightmare's ass. No, nothing.
Man.
Fuck me then. Okay.
Well, I mean, you know,
end of episode. Fucking wrap
it was
this thing
there.
up. God,
Don't
dude.
tell me what to do. You're not my dad.
If you're telling me
I'm a dad.
that there is zero doubt in your mind that Cody's going to win, Cody's going to win. 110%. You are utterly and just 100% convinced. There's no way that they would have Roman win, right?
Don't.
Right? None?
There's no way to. I mean, there's always reasonable doubt, man.
I like how we went from don't, and it was like, don't hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hurt me again.
I mean, they can't.
Can't they? Wouldn't they?
I feel like.
Won't they?
I feel like.
Would they never?
20. And I feel like 20 might even be like judicious.
Shan't they?
I mean, they didn't do it last year, right? Like Cody was going to win
Twont.
last year, right?
I feel like because you said it, man. They have to. I mean, right now, I think that Cody is like the face of the generation, and I think he's on the precipice of being, your HBK, of being your Steve Austin, of being your John Cena. But I think that they have to make it matter now. Because if they don't make it matter now, no one's going to care when it comes around again.
Oh, you're screwed. You're done. You're done. You can't have Cody lose here and then try to give him the belt somewhere else.
Exactly.
Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care.
The only thing that's nagging to me, the only reason that I go up to 20% of doubt is because I think about that report that came out about him letting The Rock take his place and fake an injury, have a fucking shoot injury, and then have his WrestleMania title shot at a different time. Like, that was the dumbest fucking thing I had ever read in my life. I lost wrestling brain cells because of reading that.
Do you not think that they saw the error of that they got? Like, do you think that? Okay, so here's the question that I pose. Do you think they would have changed The Rock's storyline just to have Cody lose? Like, if they weren't planning on putting the belt on Cody, like if that's not their goal here, wouldn't they just have left it Rock versus Roman?
The only thing I can compare this to is the groundswell with Daniel Bryan. And that forced Vince McMahon to change his mind. And, like, if that did that, having a similar thing, I gotta, because everything in my gut tells me that Triple H has a better relationship.
Grasp of reality?
Yeah, well, that too.
There goes
what
gravity.
a burrito is. There goes
a better
rabbit.
relationship with the audience.
He's not
He
afraid to
gets it.
sneeze. He knows what a burrito is.
He's
He's seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
He
Done
understands
poop on people?
He understands the fan
Oh.
from a very all of his NXT booking, how he treated the tag team division whenever he was booking it in the main roster, how he treated the women's division, all of this. It's
Better than how
pointing me in the
Vince McMahon
direction
treated
that,
the
like,
women's division.
Oh.
Who?
Pulled a pharaoh on him.
Tom?
All I'm trying to say is that this feels like the right thing, but the other thing I keep hearing that's fucking reverberating in my skull cavity is Paul Heyman last year saying we're only in the third inning.
Now, don't be scared. Listen, innings can go very quickly in baseball between the third to the end. You know,
I don't sports. I don't understand this.
That's fair.
Good.
That's
good.
fair. I can't imagine them missing the boat on Steve Austin. I can't imagine them saying, well, we're going to let you win the Royal Rumble, but not beat Shawn Michaels. I can't imagine them, missing the boat on Daniel Bryan, saying, okay, we're going to let you beat Triple H, but we're not going to have you win the title in the main event.
Yes.
And this is akin to that. I think that Cody last year was very similar, but I think that this year is way more urgent.
Yes.
And I just it doesn't make sense in my brain to have Cody lose. But to your points, it didn't make sense in my brain to have Cody lose last year. And for fucking 80% of the year, I would have been right that it was just more of the stupid fucking bullshit. But now that we have some exciting shit happening for WrestleMania, I'm forced to eat a little bit of crow.
It's Mania time.
You know what they say?
Which I will.
Something Cody
Yes?
Rhodes.
Okay. Thanks, Poot.
You're welcome.
Well-
I just, I can't not see it happen. I just like.
See, now you're
Well, it doesn't.
now it's in your head, and you're sitting there and you're going, "No, I have made this a non-issue. This could certainly never happen ever." Right?
Guys.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, hey guys, talk me off this ledge, and you're like, nah, it's not that far of a drop, beef. You're fine.
Boot you
When the
off
man
that
is fucking-
fucking thing. Like,
Yeah, don't worry. You can take the jump, even though you've rolled your ankle and broke it walking. It's fine. You're fine. Probably
It's like
fine.
a Band-Aid, man. It's like a Band-Aid. Just rip it off real fast. It'll sting real quick, and then you'll be over it.
I'll be dead.
Oh no.
but like, dude, you have to temper expectations, man. If you don't, you're gonna disappoint the fuck out of yourself. Like, you're gonna.
Gonna.
All right, so I have a question, a legitimate question for you guys. In the next episode, can we talk about the rest of the WrestleMania card and not just Cody and
Don't
Rock?
care.
Are we doing another episode? We've been talking for like an hour and a half on this. We may as well keep rolling, right?
Rolling.
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 Didn't
Yeah,
care.
Absolutely. What? I mean, yeah. I mean, yes. What?
That
what
was a
else-
lot of words for you just to
That was
say
a lot.
yes.
Yeah.
That was a lot going around your
That meant
asshole to get to your
nothing.
elbow, really.
Before
Definition.
That meant nothing. Absolutely.
since we didn't have the
Oh, my knee!
since we didn't have the end of the end of the first episode, just so you all know, we'll never really know what it smells like underwater. All right, let's keep going.
No, somebody does.
Fucking Poot. I hate that guy. Hate that guy. No, man, we do. It's whenever you're doing the upside down flips and like the water shoots in your nose and you get that like cucumber smell. That's what it smells like.
That doesn't
It smells
smell like
old
cucumbers, beef. That's you having a stroke.
Oh damn. All right. So Tom, what else on this card's got you percolating, man? What do you want to talk about?
What else is on the card?
Well,
Then
I mean,
everybody
you've got
goes,
two- you've got.
Anybody?
You got two-
Anybody want to tell
you
me
got-
what's on the card?
I will if you let me talk.
That's
You got
the
two
problem.
women's matches.
Who's wrestling?
You got Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch.
No.
Okay. I mean, I think that's going to be a banger match, and that's one that I'm excited to see if they're just going to continue Mommy's dominant reign or if they're going to turn the title over to Becky. It makes me wonder because
Donkey Kong.
essentially you could have Seth lose and you could have Becky lose in the same night. Do you think they would do that?
Ransom just has his Tony Clifton hat on tonight.
That's every night.
No, I don't. Well, yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. Are you sure about that?
I had to think about it because I'm like, they're not going to be on the
Yes.
same
No.
night. I'm
No.
like,
Yes.
I had to think about it because I'm like, they're not going to be in the same night. I'm like, oh yes, they are. They have to be because Seth is wrestling on both nights. Yes, absolutely. I think that they're going to. I think that Rhea Ripley is going to retain her title. Because you beat Charlotte at WrestleMania, you beat Becky at WrestleMania. Like, I think that cements you as like the top star.
You
Well,
can go to AEW and beat
Bayley.
Sasha Banks. Kaboom!
All due respect to Bayley and Io Sky, I think that Rhea Ripley is the top women's star of the company right now, and I
Agreed.
think that this is how you get her over. I worry though that this is all for naught whenever Charlotte Flair comes back. That's my big fucking concern, is that she's going to be the one to beat Rhea. I hope that that's not the case. And it could be worse. It could be Liv Morgan. But like,
I thought you liked Liv Morgan.
He loves Liv Morgan.
Living large and in charge.
The problem is they have so much young talent on SmackDown right now. With Braun, with Mello, with fucking Tiffy, with Jade Cargill now. So much young talent over there. And Raw's just getting the shaft. And yes, we know that there's probably going to be a draft or some shit that happens to fucking switch talent around. So I'm really hoping it's, either Jade or Tiffany Stratton, the one to beat Rhea Ripley, because I think that would make a huge fucking deal. But I get the feeling that's going to be Charlotte. But all that said, I think that, Rhea's got to be the one to beat Becky at WrestleMania, just because I think she needs. I think that she needs the win over Becky more than Becky needs the win over her.
Okay. Poot?
Yes.
Thoughts?
No,
Nailed it.
I just. If we're leaning into this time period of WWE having long ass title reigns, just keep it on Rhea Ripley. Let's see how long Mommy can go. Tomst. Like that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, leave it on Rhea Ripley. She is 1,000% money. Leave it on her now. Becky has had all the accolades in the world. Rhea, like, the longer you keep the belt on her, because she actually has personality, unlike Roman. Which, that's being a little harsh, and I'm kind of calling back to the old way of things. But, like, just leave it on Rhea. Leave it on her until SummerSlam, at least.
I could see that. I think by then it's reasonable to expect that Jade Cargill might be ready to strap a rocket to her back and put a title on her. I could see that happening SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It's and looking up the card, because facetiously or not, it's like, what other matches are on the card?
Well,
oddly enough,
I don't know that you need to take that tone
kinda...
whenever you're repeating my voice. That sounds like it's appropriate.
Well, what they say.
Put a bow on that. What you were saying about the SummerSlam is that, like, I think that SummerSlam is like the new WrestleMania, in a lot of ways, where they're having like the big stadium shows now, and they're making it like the attraction of the summer. So I think that we will see some major stuff happen there.
Major players,
including The Rock having a singles match, and including Rhea Ripley losing her title, probably.
The only two matches that are actually announced for one night and another are the tag match and the two championship matches. Everything else is still, it's put night TBA. But that said, Io Sky and Bayley, I think it's gonna be technically like a good, like just a good in-ring product. I mean, they've been building, the story's kind of been building for a little bit, and I mean, it's it's fine. Like, it's not something that has me like absolutely over the moon, but I'd be excited to see Bayley win it with a title again, and see what she can do. And I mean, for a while though, like,
would we have both Rumble winners win?
Why not? I'm sure it's happened. Well, both Rumble winners. As I say, I'd be hard pressed to go back and look up the stats on that, but I'm sure it's probably happened since the introduction of the Women's Rumble. But I mean, I see no reason not to put the title on Bayley at this point. Like, Damage Control for a while really wasn't doing anything. Like, it was kind of like, I don't know, that it was kind of who caresville, like, until they put some tag titles on him, and then it was a little bit of who caresville, but they never really, I don't know, I feel like they never really hit their stride. They never really like reached that peak that they could have, whether that's just bad booking or bad creative or whatever. I don't know. I say this. I say this with as much caution as I can, but you know where I'm coming from with this. It is harder to. It is harder to get emotionally invested in somebody when, I don't know how to delicately put this without sounding like a total racist.
Jesus, that went fucking sideways quickly.
No, it's like, okay, so
Shut it off.
Same reason why, like, I feel like Shinsuke never really got a huge push is the language barrier. Like,
oh, absolutely, that's not
you know
racist.
what I'm saying?
You're 100% right.
Well, yeah,
That's
but there are some people out there that would absolutely take it that way, and it's not meant that
Probably.
way. Okay,
That's why
disclaimer.
guys like Andrade have never gotten over either, because they can't have that connection with the crowd.
Right. So it's like what they were doing there for a little bit with doing Shinsuke doing his promos and then having the subtitles was
So good.
fucking genius. And like as the heel, that made so much sense. Like, but I feel like unfortunately it kind of pigeonholes you into being a heel then, because like, why would you do that for a good guy? Good guy wouldn't need to do that. I don't know. But it is hard to make that connection. It's hard for me to get invested, if I can't relate to you somehow, some way. Whether that's just simply understanding, or whatever the case may be. But regardless, all that to say is like, Io Sky as the champ didn't really like move the needle for me. Bayley would definitely move the needle more. And I don't know. Like, that one just seems like kind of a given. Like, I don't see any reason why Bayley doesn't walk out with that title.
I think it's been a good story though. Like, yes, I think that the beginning of Damage Control was a little rocky. With Dakota being injured and then not injured, and then injured again and then not injured again. I feel bad for her because she's had that kind of a career. But like, I feel like once Asuka came into the fold, things really started heating up. And then whenever they got Kairi Sane back, I think that is where I think that it really started to get that those tendrils in deep. I'm just excited, honestly, for Bayley to have her Mania moment. I think that she is the one who hasn't yet. Sasha got to main event with Bianca, and Charlotte's had her, first ever main event first ever women's main event in WrestleMania history.
Yeah.
She went on then the next year to beat Rhea Ripley for the NXT title. She went on then to lose to Rhea Ripley at 39. So like, she's had her fucking time. Becky obviously, winning the main
Ronda
event
Rousey and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the four of the four horsewomen, I think that Bayley's the one that yes, this
give that woman her flowers.
Is a foregone conclusion. This is absolutely going to happen. By the way, WrestleMania 35 was the first time, I think, that both Rumble winners have won, when Becky and Seth both walked out with the world titles.
Fair.
Okay. There you go.
Well, I think that just also looks good in the press to have a couple co-champions. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
that was really cool.
Yeah, we can't write that off. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about LA Knight's situation, coming off of how hot he was? Over the past year, having him now. Listen, Match against AJ Styles at Mania, arguably. Now we're talking about the grandioseness of the rest of the card. Fair, but with this, it's one of those things where I'm like, taking it in a bubble, a match against AJ Styles at WrestleMania, nothing to sneeze at for a career.
Sure, but I think
yeah.
the problem is that like you have to kind of look outside that bubble and realize that like, yeah, man, he was super hot, and it's almost felt like they're working to cool him off a bit. I was really hoping that he'd be involved with Logan Paul. I think that the promos would have been magic, and we may get that in Cleveland, but that wouldn't be great either.
Well, that would be
being that LA Knight loses.
Listen, that would be a great place to do it because the Paul brothers, I believe, are from Ohio.
Right, but that's the thing. I think that would almost, but all but guarantee another LA Knight loss on the big stage.
Not necessarily, man, because like I know lately we've seen the trend go away of, when you go to your hometown, you don't win. That used to be the meta. Like if you're in your hometown, you lose. Now that obviously has cooled off quite a bit in modern history, but I don't know, man. He's so easy to hate. And like having LA Knight get that win, I think it would be great because then it would give LA Knight more bragging rights to say how much he beat his ass in his hometown. You know what I mean?
Getting back to your point about LA Knight and AJ Styles, yeah, I mean, wrestling fans are weird. Like we're like, oh, if you don't have a singles match at WrestleMania, like it ain't no damn good. Like, but also like we want LA Knight involved in this big fuck all like United States title match. I'll say this: if LA Knight beats AJ Styles at WrestleMania, fine. Like I'm not as hype as I would be had he won the United States title, but I'm fine with it. Like I think that that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I think that AJ Styles will be in the WWE Hall of Fame at some point.
Absolutely.
However, if AJ Styles beats LA Knight, then I think that elicits further conversation of the wet blanket on LA Knight currently.
Yeah, and I really hope we don't have to have that conversation. Because, like, Styles does not need a win over LA Knight. He doesn't need it. He doesn't. His legacy's cemented. Everything is there. Put LA Knight over and then rebuild him. And I'm not saying that just as an LA Knight fan. I'm saying that, like, that's what you do. Like, if you do...
Like, isn't him being built up from Max Dupree kind of his rebuild?
Yeah, it is his rebuild, but then you're just saying, okay, you're no longer this bullshit fuck you gimmick. Congrats. Like, I mean, build him up to, like, at least upper mid card. You know what I mean? Like really build him from there. He got to the mid, upper mid card, build him a little bit more. He at least can be in there to mix things up in the top part of the card more. Because he's proved he can live there. He's proved it.
Sure. And I think that this will be an incredible match again, because much for the same reason I was talking about The Rock earlier. Like, I think that LA Knight's another guy who isn't the greatest in the ring, but between his like facial expressions and his body language and everything, I think it goes a long way into helping tell that story.
For sure.
I am honest. Good.
I was gonna say that's somebody else you could draw that comparison to would be like The Miz, like works a pretty non-flashy style or anything like that, but he does so much more than just the fucking 450 flippy doos and multi fucking angle
Bless
submission holds. God bless you. So it's not always about how athletic you can be or whatever in the ring. Sometimes it's just more about like being able to tell that story in other ways and stuff like that. So Go on.
I am pretty pumped for Jimmy versus Jay.
Really?
I think that that's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a spot fest, and there's going to be like 24 super kicks, whatever. Like I think it's going to be a
That's it?
blast. Yeah, right.
We need a fucking betting line. What's the
Yeah,
over under on the number of
Oh.
super kicks in this match?
Right?
Jesus
Who does more
Christ.
super kicks, the Usos or the Young Bucks?
Oh.
Oh man.
Man, you factor in Adam Cole in there, and then we're gonna have a fucking three-way discussion, brother.
Mhm.
A lot of fucking super kicks. I mean, honestly though, like I get it, because they're heralding one of the greatest of all time. Shawn Michaels, like the dude the dude who made the super kick fucking famous. If I'm him, man, like I feel nothing but fucking happiness every time I see a fucking leg slap. But like, I think that this is going to be an incredible match. I think that it's going to be very. First of all, I think that this match opens night 2. I think that the Becky and Rhea open night 1. I think Becky said she wanted to do that, and I think that that's going to happen. So I think that the Usos opened up night 2, and
Really? You don't think it'll be the world heavyweight title match on night 2 opening?
I
Because
don't.
you gotta.
I don't. I think it might follow. I think it might follow this.
Really?
I do. But yeah, I think that this match is the heater, man. Like I think that the crowd is gonna be fucking insane for Jey Uso. Like Jey Uso has one of those connections right now. He is channeling his fucking inner Bryan Danielson or Sami Zayn. Like,
Yeet.
yeah, man. And the fucking like the hand movements, the up and down, like main event Jey Uso was in Yo City, like it's all working. And I
Wasn't in
think
my
they'd
city.
be remiss. I think they'd be remiss if they don't put the Intercontinental title on him in short order, because I think that he is like really hitting his fucking stride. So I
Well-
think that this is going to be an incredible match, and it would not shock me if Jay loses.
That wouldn't shock me, but to go back to something you just said about putting the Intercontinental title on because he's really over with the crowd. Kind of thought that same thing with LA Knight, the US title, and
Well, to be fair, Logan Paul. Thank you. Logan Paul came out of fucking nowhere. I have not seen a meteoric rise like his since like John Cena. To
Cena.
put it fucking bluntly,
A Cena, John Cena.
I think that he is a special case, much akin to Brock Lesnar, where like he brings kind of a real fight feel because again he's been involved in that kind of side of things, but also he's a social media superstar, so like he brings a lot of eyes that way.
Yeah.
And honestly, he's kind of a fucking prodigy. Like
you're not wrong.
So like
it's more so that the LA Knight's not involved in the US title picture as it stands. Like I have no problem with Logan Paul winning it. That's fine. Cuz he is athletically gifted enough and has a natural ability for the world of pro wrestling. He does. Everything you said is true. But I said it before and I'll say it again. LA Knight should have been involved in this US title match come Mania with Paul. And I think like I'm not the only one that thought that that's where they were gearing up for, and they didn't. So all that to say, don't be surprised if you don't see main event Jey Uso with a mid-card title on him anytime in the near future. That's all.
I feel like if I had my druthers, I would definitely like throw AJ and LA Knight into the mix in the US title match and have it be this big dumb spot fest.
Yeah.
Based.
And same with the IC title match. Like fuck it, let's throw Bronson Reed and Gable in there. Like, let's have 2 fucking 4-corner match or 5-corner match or whatever. Like, let's do it up. It's WrestleMania. You know, singles matches at WrestleMania are overrated. Like, let's fucking just have a big old fucking fuck you, spot fest and have fun with it. I mean, like last year's WrestleMania didn't have a ton of singles matches, but like I think that all the matches last year were really, really good. I think that some of the results were head scratchers. So
Head
like
shakers.
last year was really, really, really great. And I think that has a tall order for this year, which I think they will absolutely match for sure.
Now I'm looking back. I'm trying to see like what the matches were because let's see, singles.
Even the Brock Lesnar Omos match wasn't terrible last year. Like it was good for what it was.
Yeah,
They went out there, they did their
listen,
thing, and that was that. Like,
let's tread carefully about praising anything with Omos involved in it. All right, that's all I'm gonna
fair.
say. Just...
That's fair. and like the other side of that coin is like, yeah, okay, you had him in the ring with Brock Lesnar last year, but like, what's he doing now? Like, was that a good place for fucking Brock Lesnar to have his presumably last WrestleMania match? I think that had they known what we know now, that like that could have been his last one ever. Like, yeah, it was pretty fucking dumb. But like even
to channel my inner Chris Farley in regards of Omos. You're gonna find as you go along in WWE that you're gonna amount to Jack Squad. Go on.
I think
We're almost going to live in a van down by the river.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think that Lesnar does get back into the fold, especially if WrestleMania 41 is in fact in
Minneapolis.
Say it easy for you to say.
Minneapolis. Even if it's in Minneapolis, next year, I think that Lesnar could be part of it.
Hold on. Have they announced where it's going to be for next year yet or no?
They have not.
Okay.
They're keeping it pretty close to the vest.
Are you speculating that it's in Minneapolis? Like
that's where the signs are pointing. That's what they've been saying for the last 6 months or so
already.
But at the same time, I feel like them having that like little like WrestleMania special thing out in Las Vegas where they did the bit where Cody picked Roman.
Yeah,
I think that maybe was them taking the temperature to see if there was any interest in, putting the Mania out there in the Death Star. So maybe, if I'll say this, if Las Vegas is not next year, I think that Las Vegas will be 30 or 42. And then I could either go back to Florida or like somewhere on the East Coast for like 43.
We ever get one in Pittsburgh? Never.
Nope.
Probably never.
Because same reason we'll never get a Super Bowl is because
infrastructure.
We don't have the. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Like the roads would fucking jam up. There's not enough fucking hotels. Like it's just not a great. I love Pittsburgh, but like it's not a great city for hosting things.
No, it's not. not a Super Bowl, not a WrestleMania, not a fucking NFL draft.
Not to mention too that Mania's in April. It's not unheard of for us to have snow in April.
Yep.
We could have a freak snowstorm in the middle of WrestleMania, and that will dampen things.
What was the event? I think it was one of the Saudi events.
It was.
They had to put the air conditioners under the ring.
Yeah.
And I know that Perth got real fucking hot too. That they said it was like 100 degrees in Perth for Elimination Chamber. Well,
yeah, it's a bit much.
So all the weather talk that surprises me. That surprised me that they even
New York. When they did 35 in MetLife,
New York,
they shipped a bunch of heaters,
right?
heaters under the ring.
Albany.
Much like they did like with the air conditioner, but they put a bunch of heaters there because like the reports were that WrestleMania 35 was going to be super cold, and it didn't end up being too bad.
Well, that surprises me. All the weather talk is that the fact that they would have it in Philly because they still get the same shit weather that we get, if not worse, than because they're closer, closer to the coast and everything like that. They're closer to Buffalo, which always gets slammed with fucking God knows how many blizzards and shit, everything,
Philly's, I think, farther than Buffalo than we are.
No, I don't think, but okay.
Let's figure it out. Let's consult the map.
Philly actually gets decent weather most years. It's not very often that they have like snow. I only know that because a buddy of mine lived in Philly for a while. I mean, not to say that they're like bereft of snow, but like it's whenever we get hit with snow, they usually get like maybe some rain, some ice.
Bunch of dicks.
But all that said, like I mean like that's the risk you run with these open air arenas. But I think that people have proven that regardless of the weather, they're going to come out and they're going to have
look at Tampa whenever it happened.
Yeah, poor Samoa Joe's rain poncho. Yeah.
Oh, Samoa Joey.
But yeah, I mean, but like you can't beat that fucking atmosphere. Like it is having close to 100,000 people like in unison is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. I got one other match that is staring me here in the face that I wanted to get your take on. Because we've already talked talked at length about the IC title and everything like that. We've talked about the other mid-card title match and everything. The tag match. So it's all right. I'm making sure I read this right that I don't flub it. The 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. So Judgment Day, the incumbent champs. DIY is going to be in it. The Awesome Truth is going to be in it. The New Day, and then the winners, whoever the winner is of the SmackDown tournament, which right now we are in the quarterfinals, semifinals, whatever, something like that. Legado del Fantasma versus New Catch Republic, and then you got A-Town Down Under, great name, versus the Street Profits. Of those 4 teams there, who do you see rounding it out for that last spot? Ransom.
Street Profits.
Okay. Any particular reason, or just throwing them out there just because that's who you're familiar with?
I think in a match such as what they're setting up for WrestleMania, the Street Profits, I think, fit it best. I think their style fits a what's it called? 6-pack challenge.
Yeah, it's I don't know what that's going to constitute, but a 6-pack tag team ladder match.
I think it's just a tornado ladder match.
Yeah. I think the Street Profits fit that bill a little bit more than the other teams. Awesome Truth's a good team, they're fun, but I don't know. Like I think they kind of had their run in the sun, but then again, with R-Truth and his involvement with the Judgment Day, it wouldn't surprise me if they did wind up in it. I just think the Street Profits have the talent and the WrestleMania caliber to warrant being in that match.
I feel you on that. I feel like Street Profits would be.
Well, I'll tell you why the Street Profits won't be in it, because they're going to be in a match with Bobby Lashley and B-Fab versus AOP, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett.
Oh damn!
They have their own shit going on. Same with Legado. I think that they're not going to be in it because they're going to have some shit with the LWO at Mania.
Okay. Well, that was actually going to be the other team that I thought would, like Ransom was saying, would be a good fit to fill out that last spot. Just because of the style that they wrestle, and ladder matches would be right up their alley. But
I don't know, man. A-Town Down Under.
No, well, they're already.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Already in.
Yeah, so sorry for the confusion.
All right,
So the ones that are already in it are DIY, Awesome Truth, New Day, and then whoever wins the SmackDown tournament is in that last spot. Poot.
All right, my bad. I was confused.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Poot, what do you think?
I honestly think that A-Town Down Under would fit really well. I do. I think they would be good foils in the match. I think they have the talent to handle a match like that. I just think they'd be good. I think they'd be the ones to do it. And much like Beef said, that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm like Street Profits. I don't think are going to be doing the thing, as they say.
I just watched that Mania not long ago.
I'm sorry.
Right here.
Yeah, I put it on as we were finishing installing the light fixtures in my ceiling and everything like that down here.
It's not great.
And then what's that?
It's not great.
It's not. And Eli and I were playing a little game of let's count all the dead people. Got up to a baker's dozen so far. So
yeah,
that was fun. I could also see A-Town Down, as you were saying, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, there is that history with Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano from The Way and everything whenever they had all that going on in NXT. So that could be a fun little, that could be a fun little spot that they throw a nod to or whatever, where Austin tries to befriend him like, hey, don't you remember? No. And then just fucking
remember.
Throws
I
him off
remember.
the top of, yeah, you better remember. Then fucking Gargano just throws him off the top of a ladder. So, good times. I don't know. What do you think, Beef? Who do you think's gonna? Since you're saying not Legato and not Street Profits, you're down to New Catch Republic and A-Town.
So who do I want versus who I think are going to be there? I want New Catch Republic. I think that Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate would excel in that match with the talent that's there. And I think that they're absolutely deserving of the spot. But I think that, Theory being Theory and Walla being Walla,
Wow.
they're going to get that spotlight. So I think that A-Town Down Under ends up in there. Which, again, youth, whatever, I get it. But for me, I'd have New Catch in there. Honestly, I think it's a missed opportunity for Pretty Deadly. I think that Pretty Deadly should have been in there.
Agreed.
So,
man.
Couple things with the ladder match I'll point out. Well, before I do that, Tom, who do you think's going to take the final spot here?
The final spot going into, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be A-Town. I think they're going to win the SmackDown tournament. Yeah.
A-Town Down Under.
A-Town Down Under.
Everybody I keep seeing us online that like, oh, the Hardys are going to be the surprise team. Oh, the Dudleys are going to be the surprise team. And I'm like,
oh my God, stop it.
First of all, there's no surprise team. Like, there's no surprise. Quit working yourselves into a shoot, people. Like, we know the 6 teams. Like, well, we know 5 of them, and we know who the 6 is going to be. Second of all, no, I don't want the fucking Hardys anywhere near WWE again.
It's going to happen.
Dudleys would be neat, sure, but like only because it's in Philadelphia, and I don't think that either one. I mean, Bully can probably still go, but I don't know that Devon can.
Yeah, I was gonna say Devon really can't anymore.
I know that they both have like other shit going on that weekend, so like they're gonna be around. So like stop it. There's not gonna be a surprise team. This isn't WrestleMania 34 or 33. Like no, just stop it. Second of all, one of my Greg, my work buddy Greg, brought this up, and I can't stop thinking about it. Where one person from one team grabs one of the titles, like the Raw titles, and another person grabs the SmackDown titles, and we have 2 sets of champions after this match. And
that's my pick.
With that.
That's my pick for peace.
Did I look at this bracket wrong? Am I to understand there's there's going to be two different teams as winners coming out of SmackDown, or is it just one team? Like
just one.
Okay.
So basically, the winner of New Catch and Legado faces A-Town Down or Street Profits. Yep.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then the winner of them, like, is
Correct.
this because this all happens tomorrow? Like this all as of this recording, this all happens tomorrow. So what? They're gonna have the one match, then the other match, and then have the final match probably as like the main event. Or
No.
what?
I apologize. Because there are only 4 teams in here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So then it's going to be both. So I apologize.
Okay.
It's either going to be Legado or New Catch, and it's going to be A-Town Down Under or Street Profits. So yeah, I apologize. I was thinking the other thing as well.
Well, okay. So was I. I was completely misunderstanding. So it looks like you could actually get what you want and what you think is going to happen both in the same night. So there you go.
Which honestly is fine because I think Pooch said it. I don't know. I apologize. I have terrible memory. About Theory and Waller doing really good in this match. I think that they will. I just think that Dunn and Bate will do better. So I think that this is a win-win for everybody. Until, one of the teams gets hurt and out come the fucking Hardy Boys.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, stop it. Get at. But yeah, I love the idea because, like, they had a fucking tournament with 8 teams on SmackDown. There are 8 teams on SmackDown, and then, there are obviously the 4 teams on Raw, plus some. Fucking Alpha Academy's not on there. I'm sure that there are others I'm missing.
Viking Raiders.
So, like, Viking Raiders whenever Eric comes back, absolutely. Yep. So, like, I think that there is room for 2 sets of tag team titles. Which I don't think was the case a few years ago. You remember WrestleMania 38 when we had the Usos versus Shinsuke and Rick Boogs?
Oh.
What a time to be alive.
No.
What a time to be alive. I think that was actually Boog's last match because he got hurt in that match.
Mm-hmm. It was.
And then he got
hurt fucking bad in that
him.
match.
Yeah, he got healthy and then they released him. Yeah. I remember whenever, like, Pat came back for one of the Rumbles and he was, like, jumping up, like, looking for fucking Rick Boogs, and Mike was like, yeah, no, we don't do that anymore, man. He's like, oh.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
But, yeah, I mean, so, like, this is 2 years, but, like, a world difference. I'm here for 2 winners of this match. And, I mean, if you want to pick that, if you want to call your spot, have at it.
Beef's like, I'm not gonna do that, but
I might throw a 1-pointer on that. Sure, why not? See what the fuck happens. I mean, because it's an outside the box idea. Because it's a unique situation where there are 2 sets of tag team titles. So, like, this is the time. Why not have fucking R-Truth fall down with the Raw title and then fucking, like, Austin Theory fall down with the SmackDown title. Like, I don't know. It makes sense to me, and it's a great way to split those titles up.
Either way, somehow, some way, Beef's gonna fucking finagle the picks, and Poot's gonna have to pick that match first. It's gonna happen. I'm calling it now.
And he's gonna have to pick Roman versus Cody last. I'm already putting the math on that. I'm working it out, Poot. You got what? 5 days? I'll figure it out.
No, I know you will. I'm not surprised.
The utter defeat where he's not even fighting it anymore.
No, it's not. I'm just like, okay, it's like the sun's gonna rise tomorrow. Fucking taxes will happen next year, and Beef will machinate something out that I have to pick first on all the hard shit.
Screwed Pooch.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's WrestleMania, baby. Like I feel like we've had some pretty
hey,
good
Poot,
coverage
that's
of this
you know what they say. That's WrestleMania, baby.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, dude. In honor of Pat, do we have a stump the chumps at all or no?
Think we cleared the coffer last week. I'll check. Let me see here. Let me see here. Uh,
Danhausen.
we do not have a stump the chumps.
Okay.
We are cleared out because people have heard the new recording. So Pat doesn't even know that he won yet.
Oh no. Should we throw him a solid and let him know? Like
maybe I'll send him a message and let him know and see if he wants to come on Tuesday. We'll see.
Okay.
Hey, just to let you know, Cowboy, you won.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Well, that
you
episode
won,
would come out
jerk.
before this one, so
You don't know.
he'll know. He'll know one way or the somebody's gonna know.
You don't know.
You don't know me. You've only seen my penis.
Time's a son of a bitch.
Time's a flat circle.
That too.
Now I'm not saying the Earth is flat. I'm just asking.
Okay. Anybody have any other last minute WrestleMania stuff they want to talk about?
Worst WrestleMania moment ever. Go. Beef.
John Cena proposing to Nikki Bella.
Tom.
Fucking Roman beating Undertaker. I don't know.
Ransom. Ransom.
Well, he did.
You gone, boy.
He's either muted and doesn't know he's muted, or he fell asleep.
Whoops.
There you go. Muted. What's worst WrestleMania moment? Go.
Worst WrestleMania moment. Oh. Man, I don't know. That's tough. I don't know. Come back around the horn.
Well, I'm the only one left.
Well, go ahead.
It would absolutely be Cody Rhodes not winning this year.
Oh, damn it.
No,
Whoops.
Man, it's there's a lot of calls, but I'm gonna go with one that I think is a bad one of the worst WrestleMania moments. Triple H getting thrown under the bus and having to lose to the returning Ultimate Warrior, who promptly left.
Good take.
I would say a close runner-up is Hogan coming back at WrestleMania 9 to steal the belt from.
I was just about to say that one.
Yep, that's a bad one. That's a bad one.
Only because I know of all the fucking backstage chicanery where Hogan was like, "Oh yeah, I'll totally put Brett over, brother." Fucking 3 months later, I'm not putting him over, brother. It's not gonna work for me, brother.
That's not gonna work for me, brother.
I occasionally go back and I listen to our. I go back and I listen to our collar elbow tie up. On WrestleMania 9, and by God, I made some really good wine drunk points.
Oh man, that was a great thing.
I don't know that I have a worse WrestleMania moment. I mean, I'm sure there have been some stinkers that I've watched, but like, I don't know that there's one that really. I mean, at least not right now. There's not one that's jumping out and going like, "Man, do you remember this? This was."
I'm glad that we're kind of over the era of like them manufacturing WrestleMania moments.
Yeah.
And making such a big deal about it. That was a total Vince McMahon thing, and I hated it.
Yeah.
Like, Michael Cole's like, that was those WrestleMania moment. Like, okay, like, we all know it when it happens. If you're saying, this is the WrestleMania moment for Seth Rollins, then it is not, because that doesn't work that way.
Oh, I have one.
Go ahead.
It's Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
I don't think it was a bad match. I talked about this before, I think. I don't think Lesnar ending the streak should have gone to Lesnar. He didn't need it. He was a megastar already. It didn't propel him any further. He didn't need it.
I love watching Paul Heyman's. I think it's the On the Ropes. I can't remember what it was. It's the one where like it's over in England and they sit in like a theater and like a guy will interview.
Yeah, that's On the Ropes.
On the Ropes. Yeah. Paul Heyman's on there and they're talking and he goes, "Now, I'm not saying that," like he basically implies with this in his very Paul Heyman-y way that he's like, was The Undertaker supposed to lose? Did Brock Lesnar go into business for himself? Who knows? But let me pose this to you.
Paul Heyman.
If Brock,
it's Heyman working the crowd.
It is, but man, he just knows how to like mind fuck you real hard. Like
he knows how to work a crowd of people. Absolutely,
what a
man.
Bag. I love him.
You gotta watch it.
I'm so happy he's going in.
It's so good.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I'm so happy he's going to the Hall of Fame. So let me parlay that ransom real quick, because I know we're getting on here, but like this is something worth discussing. In the last I think day or so, Undertaker did an interview, and I by the way I love that the Undertaker is like retired, so now that Mark Calloway can kind of come out and talk about stuff, which is really cool.
Yep.
But he went on the record as saying that he thinks that Lesnar beating him for the streak was a mistake as well, and that it shouldn't have been Roman either. It should have been Bray Wyatt. That Bray Wyatt had the most to say, that it would have benefited his career the most. And I, 100 like, had the Undertaker not lost the year prior, or if they didn't have plans for him to lose to Roman Reigns the year after, which I think they already did, I think that Bray would have won that match. But because they weren't going to have him, go out on his sword, losing 3 in a row back to back to back.
Yep.
He had to squeeze out a win in there. And it was an incredible match. I loved it. But yeah, wrong guy won, in my opinion. And I mean, maybe it's revisionist history now that Wyndham has passed on. Like, maybe if Wyndham was alive, Undertaker doesn't say that. But, like, I think that we can all agree that, like, knowing what we know now, especially what we know now, I think absolutely Bray Wyatt beating The Undertaker for the streak would have been way better than Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker for the streak.
Oh yeah, 1,000% agree with that, and that's not just because, not because Bray has passed. I think we all agreed that would have been a better choice, years ago. Just with the mismanagement of the Fiend and unfortunately how that went and everything like that.
Or stupid politics. Real quick before we pivot, because I hear the pivot coming. I'll say that's a great call, Ransom, and here's why. Not because it's not WrestleMania moment worthy, because I think it absolutely is, and I'm fine with Lesnar beating him, honestly, because then he lost to Reigns and it makes Reigns look even bigger. I get all that. The reason I think it's a bad moment is because of when it happened. WrestleMania 30, where like everybody was buzzing about Danielson, about Daniel Bryan winning, like with Taker losing there, it took all of the fucking steam out of the arena. It took all the excitement out of the air because everyone was like, the fuck just happened? Like, the women's match was up next, and you could hear a fucking pin drop, I swear. And then, like, they kind of sort of came back for the main event, but, like, if Taker doesn't lose, how much bigger of a fucking, like, groundswell is there for Daniel Bryan when he wins? Like, that's the thing that I've always kind of pointed to as the mistake. Like, them doing it that night because of And honestly, like, it feels like a little bit of it, being fucking Vince McMahon being vindictive and, undercutting the fucking crowd.
Oh, that wouldn't be a shocker.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys want to be really excited for Daniel Bryan to win, huh? Well, I'll show you.
Come here, Pharaoh. So who all do we have announced for the Hall of Fame? Besides, we have Paul Heyman. We have the American Express. That's Bray's father, Mike Rotunda, and
Barry Windham.
thank you. Yes, I was floundering on that last one. That I think there was one more that I heard. Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano, Thunderbird. What's his name? Thunderbird Patterson.
I didn't know that
The most
one.
recent
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, Thunderbolt. Excuse me, Thunderbolt Patterson. U.S. Express and Muhammad Ali.
Okay, gotcha.
Rumor has it is that Bray was supposed to be in this year, but I think that they kind of got cold feet about it, just because of, the family and mourning.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that. I think they didn't want to. I didn't think they didn't want to like shoehorn him in just because like, oh, he passed, so like, obviously we're gonna put him in. I think it's better that they wait anyways because, honestly, I think you would want to have Bray as your kind of like your headliner, inductee. Like obviously this year Paul Heyman's like your main event, Hall of Fame inductee. Like that place is gonna go crazy in Philly. Like ECW chants are gonna take over the arena and everything like that. Like, that's a given. So I like the fact that they're not putting Bray in this year. I think it'd be more beneficial to them to do like wait until next year or something. And from what I hear, there's supposed to be some sort of like Peacock Network special or something like a series or whatever
it's gonna be
about
a fucking tearjerker. Yep.
Man.
Everyone who's heard it has said that it's like a fitting tribute, but also is just fucking heart-wrenching. Here's my thing though, like, because that was the other thing. They're like, well, we're already giving Wyndham the big like Peacock special this year, like right around WrestleMania. Like, how cool would it have been to like end that special with like Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, 2024 Hall of Fame. Like, how cool of a moment would that have been? Like, and like what a neat little like reveal it would have been.
Yeah, I could see your point on that, but again, I go back to the fact of like, I just don't think you want to like, you don't want to eclipse that with everything that the shining superstar that Paul Heyman is, because he has been so important and so instrumental to the entire wrestling industry, not just ECW, just as a whole. His is a star that is going to fucking blind you because he shines so bright. So I'm okay with them not putting Bray in this year, but I get what you're saying. That would have been a nice little bow on that, but I'll look forward to it next year whenever I'm sure they induct him then.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Peacock special, but I think pulling the trigger this year would have felt a little I feel like everything involved with it would have been a little rushed. Give it a year, give it time. I think next year it'll be even more special. And plus they can really highlight him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But
we got no Stump the Chumps.
No Stump the Chumps. One last thing I just want to point out to circle back around to the very first thing we talked about. That Punk Rollins McIntyre promo. I think we need to give Burn of the Year to McIntyre for looking at Punk and saying, you don't drink, you don't do drugs, but you spend more time in rehab than anybody.
That was a super good line, too.
Man, he said that, and I wanted to find a microphone in my that's not this one in my apartment to drop. I was just like, fuck, that was good. That was super fucking good.
I feel like if there was anybody who didn't come out looking the best, it was probably Rollins. just because he didn't have like the time together that they did. So like they had a little bit of a one up on him, but like I felt like Drew held his own on the mic real well with CM Punk. So that I think bodes well for, and honestly, like I kind of hope that we get those three guys together in a SummerSlam feud. I think that would be really fun, and yeah, just fucking mainline those promos into my vein for 3 months. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Boys,
All
I
right.
think we've done some. Think we've done some Mania talkies here, and I think it's been plenty enjoyable. Anybody have anything else for the good of the order before I tell Poot to say something stupid?
Bo deal way.
Well, Ransom had a stroke, so see you later, Ransom.
Bye.
Baby.
Bye.
All right. All applicable link. Oh, wait, I gotta wait for the thing. Hold on, go ahead.
Clickable.
What thing are you waiting on?
You give me the...
Oh. Poot!
There you go. All
That was
applicable
good.
links in the description on YouTube and also on Anchor, which I am handing over to Dad. Dad, you're gonna do a great job, and I'm proud of you, and I love you. I'll take care of all the audio mastery stuff. You guys take care of the responsible stuff because I'm a burnt out, sad, tired, miserable human being. More so than I've been since we started this podcast. Anyway, on a lighter note, remember, your stomach thinks that all potatoes are mashed. Bye, everybody.
I eat my potatoes whole, you fuck face.